Big audio companies don't want you to know you can actually get good result with less expensive gears, and I'm here to demystify some of the myths about studio gears being overpriced or being cheap. Does the price really matter? So yes, get hardwares and you get better sound automatically. No, that's not how it works. Hardwares are not piece of gears that you just get and just put them through your signal and create a bus, and then all of a sudden your mix or your recording sounds excellent from just plugging them in. That's not really how it works. It requires tooling, it requires experience, there's a learning curve to it, and there are tricks and tips that you can implement using hardwares that will make your mix or your recording sound better in your home studio or even in the professional setup. So today, I'm just gonna go through 5 cheap hardware units that I've personally owned, I've used, how I've used them, and how they can actually help you get better recordings and better mixings without breaking the bank. So we're gonna go through 5 of them. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Dami, I'm a guitar player, mixing engineer, and everything in between. So if you like musical content like this, home studio tips, hardwares, equipments, and stuff like that, I nerd around a lot here in the studio. And if you want to follow me on my journeys or one of my crazy journeys, think about subscribing. It helps the channel grow, and I'm on my way to 10,000 subscribers. We're around 2,000 right now, so thank you to you guys that have subscribed, and if you're new here, consider subscribing, and that would be a very cool thing to do, I guess. So let's go to the 5 hardwares that can actually help you get better mixes. Number 1. Now this order is in no particular order. Just listen to 5 that I know that I've used personally, and other pros can actually testify to the fact that these are actually good gears. They're well priced, they're easily accessible, they do the job, and they get the job done right, and you'll get the best result that you can get from any plugin or any other hardware unit, even with higher price tag. These are not overpriced, they're well in the entry level pricing, and if you can snatch up a deal on either Facebook Marketplace or on eBay or the used market or a local music store, you are in for the win. So the first one on the list is going to be DBX 160A. I have this on my desk. It's a 1U rack mount. It's a compressor. I've seen this being used over drums, on vocals, on cymbals, on guitars, on overhead microphones, on kicks, you name it. It's been on bass. I actually use it on bass and guitar, and it sounds amazing. I had someone in the studio also a couple of weeks ago to record vocals. I paid less than $200 for this piece of gear on eBay. I think I paid about $150. There's a software version of it. I've been using that for years. The DBX 160A, it does what it does, and it does it well. Number 1, it's easy controls. You have your threshold, your ratio, and your gain button. They are very easily accessible, and you can actually bypass to see what you're doing, and then the gain meters, of course. What's compression without your meter? You can see the gain reduction meter in real time, and you can adjust your ratio and all that good stuff. It's a good way to get started with understanding what compression does, how to manage compression, and how to get your foot in the door when it comes to analog hardware in your studio unit. So that's the number 1. The second one is a little bit controversial, but it gets the job done. It's trying or being marketed as something else, whereas it has its own character. It has its own tone, it has its own character. It's a good compressor on its own, but the fact that they kind of market it to be a clone of the 7.6 doesn't really kind of work well. But on its own, it's actually a good compressor, and I'm talking about the Klark Teknik 7.6. That's the A76? Yeah, KT, 7.6 KT Classic Fit compressor. You can get this brand new for like $200, or in the used market for like $120, $110, sometimes even less than $100, like $80. This is a FetHead compressor, very excellent on vocals. You will love them on vocals. If you're trying to set up a rack and get yourself into coloring sounds, compression on your way in, if you're ready to make that commitment to compression, have a perfect vocal chain for yourself in your studio, this might be a good way to go. I don't own one, but I've had one in my older studio where I used to work before, and it sounds excellent on vocals. It's great. It's a good deal. I've seen it being used on kick drums and other stuffs in the studio as well. And you can actually send your mix bus through it if you can have 2 units and have a pair. You can do your own mastering bus through that. So yes, that's another option. It's well priced, it's cheap, and it's gonna set you back sometimes less than $100 depending on where you're looking. So number 3, it comes in as a surprise, but then it's actually a really good preamp, and this is an inline preamp, and that's the Triton Audio FetHead. Now, It's not your typical preamp 1073 tap preamp, but there's a lot of coloration that it actually adds to your sound. It gives you pure gain, but then it also gives you some level of crispiness and boost, especially when it comes to live recording setup. I've seen this being used on a 57, and the 57 is sounding it's sounding more than $100 mic just with a FetHead. So if you're in the market for a good preamp, you might just want to put that in. Optionally, a lot of people actually use the SM7B just to have it, you know, in place of a cloud lifter or other stuff. But I've seen engineers in studios use that FetHead to just make their mix sound way freaking better in the studio settings. It's analog, it has no controls, you are getting another boosted level of gain and also some level of coloration. It does what it does, and it does it well. Without breaking the bank, it's going to set you back around $50 in the used market, or like $70 brand new. So yeah, you do the math, be the judge. Number 4 is going to be the Neve 1073. The clones of that. Now there's a whole lot of flavor of those clones. So many of them. But the warm audio one seems to be the closest one to the original, but with the behringer one just coming out right now, and I'm looking at the charts, I'm looking at people that are actually testing them out. I think it might be a good bang for your buck. If you're into 500 series, it's going to set you back around $200. Not bad, right? In my opinion. But if you want to go, you know, 42U rack mount, is going to set you back around $600 or close to $650 or something like that. If you want to make that kind of commitment, I kind of put this on number 4 for a reason. You might just want to make that commitment with that. Or if you want to spend way lower than that, around the $400 mark, you can always get a GHS. This has the Londal transformers in it, so you're going to get the exact same console in a paired format. And if you're a guitar player like me, you can not only just enjoy using it in the studio, but you can also, you know, use it on gigs, on your live pedal board and all that good stuff. So I actually use this as a DI into my plugins. If you want to see a video there, I think I have a video on my channel here talking about how I use this as a preamp or as a DI to use with guitar plugins and all that good stuff. So if you're reamping guitar or you're recording live instruments, you can pass through this. I have a pair of these, I have 2 of these, I have another one there on my shelf. What I do is send my old mix box through it for that console presence and just boost the high ends a little bit and do some low cuts and just send my old mix through it. And I send my mix box through it. It sounds great, it sounds amazing. I'll probably on one of my live streams or one of my next videos, I'm going to be doing a few A and B tests. So if you want to see all those actual audio samples of all these gears that I'm talking about, subscribe to the channel, like and comment, and I'll definitely make videos on those much later. But today is just buying advice for those gears. And the last one on the list, this is the DBX 266S, and for some reason a lot of people actually overlook this piece of gear. First of all, it has a whole lot going in one piece of gear. One, it's all analog, but you have compression in it, you have a noise gate in it, you have an EQ session. Now, you might not have as much option as you would like to have, but for live settings or for streaming, if you're an audio file or someone who's very particular about your audio signal, especially for live streaming or for content creation, or sometimes even recording vocals, because I've had scenarios where I've actually used this on recording vocals days when I'm lazy and I just don't want to do anything much. I just sent a vocal chain through it and I actually like what it came up with. Now it's not the boutique of all, because he's doing like 7 things at the same time, so you're not going to get the best of everything, but it's kind of a good way to get your foot in the door. A lot of people have been using it, a lot of people swear by it, so if you're in the market for that one, you can actually get it. And I think I got mine for like $20. I mean, you cannot beat that for a preamp, an EQ, and a compressor pedal, or compressor. Yeah, you cannot beat that. I paid $20 for mine on eBay. I think I paid like $10 shipping, so it's like $30 in total. It's right there on the rack mount, and it's been doing an amazing job for me when I'm doing like sending my voice through or stuff like this when I'm recording straight into camera, or I just want something crispier for a live broadcast. It just does that perfectly well. So if you stream and you like to use hardware when you're streaming, for $30, you cannot go wrong with that one. And just a bonus one, there's also the 286S, which is 2 compressors in one, which is a stereo compressor. That I actually got for like $50. So check out all the DBX stuff. You will get good value for your money. Look on eBay, look on Amazon, you will find something. I'll leave a few Amazon links in the description so you can check them out, check some of these gears that I've talked about out. And yeah, if you like them, great. But let gear not be the reason you're not getting the optimal sound you want to get in your studio. It's not going to be budgets, it's not going to be gear. It all has to do with you, how much you know, and how much you can tweak your gears. And that's all that matters. But if you want some entry-level gears, there's few things that I've mentioned. I own all of them, and I can tell you for free that they're great. It just depends on how much skills you have and how much time you're willing to put in. Remember, don't stop creating. My name is Dami. I'm a guitar player, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Did I just call myself Dami? It's Dami, D-A-M-I. Yeah, peace out.